Check it out, guys. So stocks absolutely crush it today to end off the month of March, to end off the week, and to end off Q1. Now that I'm thinking about it, crazy day today, guys. We had the Russell up 1.9%. We had the NASDAQ up 1.7%. The S&P went up 1.4%, as the Dow went up 1.3%, and we had the VIX down over 1%, almost 2% on the day. So we're going to break down the markets in this video, talk stocks, talk charts, and of course go over what I'm looking to do. So if y'all find value, hit that like button, make sure to subscribe, and don't forget to get up to 17 stocks for Moomoo. Link down below. And guys, by the way, today's the last day for that promo, so if you haven't gotten up to 17 stocks yet, use that link. It helps out the channel. I appreciate you all as always. And now let's dive into it. So again, we had the markets completely crush it today, guys, and look, we ripped into close. I mean, when Power Hour started at 3 p.m. on the East Coast, we started trucking along here, trucking up here on the S&P 500. SPY went from 407 up to about 409. Then it pulled back in the middle of Power Hour. You guys can see from 409 down to about 408-ish. Then we absolutely crushed it in the last 10 minutes, where SPY went from 408 all the way to almost 410. And now after the bell, it's actually pushing 410 as well. So one heck of a close there on SPY and Triple Q. Let me pull it up, guys, and show you this. This is insane. Triple Q in the pre-market was at 315. We ended up running all the way past 320 at close, and just like SPY, we got that pullback right before close. Then we ended up ripping in the last 10-15 minutes. Unbelievable day overall today for the stock market, and we broke key levels today on both SPY and on Triple Q. Let me show you guys what ended up happening on the larger time frame. So if I pull up the 4-hour chart, you guys are going to see, starting off here with Triple Q, these past couple of days, we broke over not only the 50 SMA, we took out $310, $312. That was the high from a couple months ago, or really about 2 months ago. And we filled the gap all the way up to now $320, which you guys probably know if you caught my last video, which I mentioned it briefly in that video. But $320, that was the high from back in the end of August. So not only, again, we broke the moving averages, we broke the highs from February, we filled the entire gap up to 320, which is very good for the bulls here on Triple Q. And on SPY, look at this, guys. SPY also broke a key level and closed above a key level. That level was from back in February. Actually, no, back in the beginning, from the beginning of March here. That was at 407. We broke 407, and look, we closed at 409. Now we're pushing 410 after the bell. So clear-cut break above 407. We're at a fresh multi-week high right now, and by the looks of it, guys, SPY could be heading towards the highs now from February, being about 415. 416, maybe it even breaks that point. But, big but here, guys, you got to realize both SPY and Triple Q, they're pretty overbought on the 4-hour chart. You can see right here on the RSI at the bottom right, 77 is where it's at on SPY, and I think on Triple Q, it might be even worse. I think Triple Q is more overbought. Slightly more overbought based on the RSI. The RSI on Triple Q is right around 78. So in the meantime, guys, I'm leaning more towards pullback. I think Triple Q needs more of a pullback than SPY. But in the meantime, look, Triple Q might be choppy between 312.15 to about 320. I think it might chop around here for a couple days. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We'll see. But I feel like it might chop around a little bit before it does break 320 and make another stretch, the next leg up to about 330, 335, which you guys can see was the high from the middle of August. So keep that in mind. We had a great day today. Bulls are in charge now, but we're a little overbought. We might see a little pullback before we continue this breakout. And again, like I said, I think Triple Q is a little bit more overbought than SPY. So for that reason, SPY might have a little bit more to go. Maybe it runs a little bit more to 410, 12, 15. But that also needs to see a pullback, in my opinion. I feel like we might chop around on SPY between around 410 to about 415. Then we'll pick direction from there. If we break 415, maybe we start going 430. That's where it could be going. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And we had the metal sell off today. Gold went down 0.6%. We had silver up. Well, actually, silver went up. Gold sold off. Silver went up 0.9% on the day. We can see here on the silver chart. Now it's starting to break out of the the weekly highs here. Now we can see it's also taken out. It's actually at a multi-week high. Now we're testing the mid-20s, which you guys know that's a big spot on silver. It's got to break the mid-20s. If it does, if we start breaking 25, we break the downwards channel here on the 3-year chart, that's where silver could really start to take off. And if I pull up gold, you guys might see something similar here. We have a downwards channel. We're starting to break out of it. If it breaks 2,000, 2,100, gold could be off to the races. I'm not saying it's going to go to 300 or anything, or rather 3,000 or anything crazy like that in the short term, but could gold go 2,300, mid-2000s an ounce? I think that is in the cards. I'd love to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below. So that's a quick little market breakdown on what ended up happening today. I mean, it was just a sea of green out there, guys. A sea of green. Everything was green today, pretty much except for Bed Bath & Beyond, which we talked about earlier today. That went under 50 cents today. It's actually almost under 40 cents right now, guys. It went down 28% on the day, got completely bludgeoned today, guys. And other than Bed Bath & Beyond, there really weren't many more red stocks on my watch list. I mean, we had Tencent and Alibaba go down a little bit, but guys, those have been up so much recently, so it makes sense. They're cooling off a little bit. We had CCL down a little bit, but other than that, everything else on the watch list ended up exploding today. Very, very good day overall. So let's break down some stocks, guys. We'll go by category. We'll start off with big tech. Let's see what's going on with the big tech names here. We have Apple up 1.5% and went up 1.5% on the day. And do you guys remember a couple of videos ago, probably about a week ago, I talked about how Microsoft was well ahead of Apple in terms of its breakout? Well, it looks like Apple has caught up to Microsoft, right? Microsoft went from, 255, where it was right in that wedge. We called it out. It broke out to about 280, pulled back to about 270. Now we're ripping towards 290. Unbelievable, guys. Microsoft is now taking out, or not taking out, but it's about to test the highs from a couple months ago, being back in the middle of August. And if Microsoft starts breaking past 300, guys, that's going to be a key technical break for the bulls. And honestly, like the markets in general, like I said, this is getting a little bit overbought, right? I'm kind of waiting for a pullback in the meantime before we maybe take out 295, 300 on Microsoft. Time will tell. And Apple's also getting fairly overbought as well. You can see here we just took out the highs from last week with today's move, and honestly yesterday's move as well. Apple took out the highs from last week, being about 160. We closed at 165, and now we're at a multi-month high. We have an inverse head and shoulders, clear as day here, playing out on the 4-hour chart on Apple. Let me actually show you guys what I'm seeing. So if you don't see it, you'll clearly see it here in a second. We have the left shoulder right there, boom. Got the head right there, boom. Then we have the right shoulder. So that's playing out here on Apple, and we're currently at a big resistance right now. Let me show you guys this from a couple months ago, right around 165. That's where we peaked back in the beginning of September. So I'm confident if this breaks 165, which who knows, maybe in the meantime, in the very short term, we see a bit of a pullback before this. But overall, if we ultimately take out 165, this could end up running towards the highs from, excuse me, guys, from back in end of August, middle of August, being anywhere from 170 to 175. That's where this could be going. So Apple's looking bullish as ever. Microsoft's chart's looking great. Amazon and Google, I mean, they're not quite there. And there goes Siri talking to me. I got to turn Siri off on my watch. This thing pisses me off sometimes. Amazon's not looking as good, not nearly as good as Apple and Microsoft. And same with Google. I mean, this technically is not looking that great either, compared to the Apple and Microsoft. But still, Google went up 2.7% today, back over $104 a share, and now we're starting to take out that 103, 104 resistance point again, which we did a couple days ago. Then we pulled back under. We got down to 100. Now we're trying to push back past through 105. We'll see if it does it this upcoming week. And going back to Amazon, this is also looking decent, but again, not as good as Apple or Microsoft. It is above the moving averages. That's great. We do have a golden cross, but we're still well under the highs from back in the beginning of February, and obviously from a couple months before that as well. So if Amazon starts taking out, let's say, 110, 115, that's where the momentum could really start to kick in the short term, and this could start going ballistic. It could start going wild, which I kind of hope it doesn't do that, because this, along with Google, I'm accumulating them out of all the big tech names. I think Amazon and Google are the best value right now. I thought Meta was a couple months ago. Now Meta's starting to run away, so that's not the best value anymore. But Amazon and Google, those are great values here. Maybe not so much in the hundreds, but when they were at 80, 90, I was buying like crazy, and now more just holding. And if it gets back to under 100, Amazon and Google, which funny enough, both of them are at the same share price, which that doesn't happen often, but they pretty much are right around 103, 104. If they come down again back into the 80, 90 range, I'll be buying more of Google and Amazon. But right now, I'm just holding on to them. And again, Meta's one that I'm in, but it's just ran away so much now. It's at 212. Today it went up 2% on the day. It hit a fresh high today. And who told you a couple weeks ago, if Meta were to break 200 at 195, it would be going towards 230. I told you guys that. And we're not yet near 230. We're on our way to 230, but we're not 100% there yet. But guys, I told you guys, look, back about a year ago, we were in the range between 225 to 230, 235. That's where the next main resistance is. That is where this thing looks like it wants to go. So big tech today absolutely crushed it. We had, you name it, guys. You name it. Today was great for the financials. Let's do a quick little rundown on the financials. Regional banks today bounced a little bit. We had FRC go up 2%. Zion's ended up going actually down 1.2%. WAL, which is Western Alliance, let's see, that went down about 1%. So it looks like banks are starting to cool off a little bit. Let's see the big dogs out there. JP Morgan ended up going up about 1%. All right, this is starting to break back past the 50 moving average, which we haven't done that in the past couple of weeks. So that's slowly starting to turn back up here. That is a good sign for the bulls. If I pull up Bank of America, this went up 1% on the day, also slowly starting to take out the 50 SMA, and we're consolidating at about 28 bucks. That's a good sign for the bulls. Wells Fargo, if I pull it up, this is not looking as good. Excuse me, guys, but it is slowly starting to take out the 50 SMA, trying to at least, and we'll see what it does end up doing here moving forward. And of course, guys, the banking crisis, although it's slowly starting to calm right now, it's probably not over. This is not the end. We're just seeing a calm in the storm right now, and we'll see. Like I said in my last video, I mentioned this earlier today. The VIX is down a bunch, right? The markets are up a ton. A lot of people are getting excited, but we're one piece of news away around these banks to get the VIX back to the mid-high 20s, back to the 30s, and the markets to dump back down. We're one piece of news away from that. So keep that in mind. We are starting to see a nice little rally, but don't get too excited and comfortable. That's the key word. Do not get too comfortable as of right now. So that's a rundown on big tech, the banks. Let's see what else ended up moving today, guys. We had Snapchat and Starbucks. They did well today, and I actually got Starbucks earlier today for the first time in a while. Starbucks is so dang expensive, guys. It gets more and more expensive, it seems like, each time I go. Me and my fiance got 2 drinks. It was $14 for 2 drinks, guys, and I think she got some tea or something like that. And granted, she got a venti, which is the biggest size. Or actually, I think that's the second. Either way, whatever. She got a venti. I got whatever, a medium size, and it was $14. I mean, that pretty expensive, but hey, a lot of people love Starbucks, and clearly they're doing something right. So people are clearly paying the price. But either way, Snapchat went up 3% on the day. We closed right under 1130, which is a big level of resistance here, which my alert is right at that point. If that breaks, like I've said, I could see Snap run back towards the high 11s, maybe low 12. So keep an eye on that heading into next week. We also had, again, Starbucks, which is overpriced. This ended up going up almost 3% on the day, and it's slowly starting to take out the moving averages, which is great, but hold your horses there, guys. We have a head and shoulders forming on this 4-hour chart. Do you guys not see it right here? We have the left shoulder, boom. We got the head right here, boom. You guys see that? And we have the right shoulder right there. So we have the left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And right now in real time, we are under the neckline. We're pretty much right at the neckline at about $105 a share. If that point does break, all right, that's going to be great for the Bulls. We'll probably make a move towards 110, maybe even higher. But keep in mind, guys, if we fail at 105, we're probably going to get that right shoulder to play out. Maybe Starbucks goes back under 100 towards the 90s, mid-low 90s. That's where it could be going. So Starbucks, interesting spot. Snapchat, same thing. CrowdStrike, let me pull this up and see how this did today. This went up 4%. Look, CrowdStrike ended up pretty much filling the gap all the way to about 138. That was the high from last week. That's great. Now, if we break out of this point, 138.50, let me actually set my alert right now. If we do take that level out, we can make a shot towards the top of this channel, anywhere from 140 to 145, and it is getting a little bit overbought, so I'm not looking to really chase this thing, but we'll see how it does end up playing out here in the short term. We had Coinbase go up as well today, which was a nice day for Coinbase, up 5%, closed right under 68 bucks, and my alert is at 70 bucks, and I'm being very patient with it, guys. If it breaks 70, we might be able to see a big move on Coinbase. That's where I'm looking to trade it. But until then, I'm on the sidelines, and we'll see what happens at 70. If it does break 70, though, guys, we could end up making that move towards 80, maybe 85. You can see back in the about a week ago, it was just at 85 bucks. Couple weeks ago in the beginning of February, it was at 85 bucks. So keep your eyes on Coinbase. And yeah, I mean, pretty much with that being said, guys, that's everything I wanted to go over in this video. Make sure you guys go check out my previous couple of videos. Today I made a video on Bed Bath & Beyond. I made a video on Nikola and SoFi. So go check out those if you're interested. And feel free to check out my second channel, Stas Talks Money. I'm actually doing a $100 giveaway once we hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't yet subscribed to my second channel, Stas Talks Money, use that link down below. And also, do not forget, today's the last day to get up to 17 stocks from Moomoo. Once you open up an account using that link down below, you get 1 free share of stock. If you deposit at least 100 bucks, you get 6 more free shares of stock, 2 of which are either ticker symbol AI or BBAI, which that runs out tonight, guys. And if you deposit at least 1,000 bucks, you get 10 more stocks, totaling 17 free stocks. So yeah, if you guys want some free money, you want to help out the channel, use that Moomoo link down below. Check out the Patreon as well for my Patreon portfolio, my Discord chat, and if you guys want to see my moves throughout the day, charts throughout the day, all that good stuff is on Patreon down below. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys later.